Hello, everybody, and welcome to the False Prophets podcast. I'm Phil Risden,
And I'm Manny Perez.
and we just wanted to start this off on a kind of somber note. I felt like I know we pride ourselves here on the False Prophets podcast as not having any information, having zero facts whatsoever,
Yeah.
not reading, and we like to be real stereotypes on the
Definitely.
False Prophets podcast. But
Yes.
I just want to apologize for the Gayo episode and the Gayo clips and sketches that we kind of came out with.
Yeah.
It was if you guys don't know, Gayo is something that's been on the internet where apparently during Pride Month, it was said that Kraft cheeses or Kraft company had come out with their own form of Pride themed mayo
Yes.
called Gayo, and the joke was that fuck you guys for picking something for gay people that also looks like cum.
Yes.
And it was hilarious, and we laughed, and we jumped for joy,
Yes.
and we hugged our family.
I really wanted to taste that mayo cum.
I know, we all did. I could tell. I saw the look in your eyes, and look at him now. It looks like he's about to cry. Because we found out that Gayo's not real, folks. We found out that Gayo is not real, and it haunts my dreams. It's fake, and it hurts my feelings so much. And what hurts my feelings even more is that the Juneteenth ice cream still is real.
Yeah.
That is. So we have white people basically marketing the gay movement and gay oppression, zero, and white people marketing black oppression, 400 years of oppression and slavery and segregation and police brutality, one. They did do that. So we have one of those,
One approval.
which is not great. And the Juneteenth ice cream is out, which is crazy because we're recording on Juneteenth
Yes.
right now.
Happy Juneteenth, by the way. Happy Juneteenth.
Thank you.
And happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
appreciate
our kids
that.
are still in our nutsacks, but yeah. Happy
Well,
Father's Day.
who knows?
They're
Now
probably
that
all
Roe
over
v.
this
Wade is
room.
done, now that Roe v. Wade is gone, I could have a bunch of kids running out there. We have no idea. So happy Father's Day to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Juneteenth ice cream, man. I actually did go out to Baskin Robbins
Okay.
and try a scoop of the Juneteenth ice cream. Great stuff, tasty stuff. The flavor that they had for the Juneteenth ice cream is actually red velvet,
Yeah.
which really sucks because my flavor suggestion was Harriet Tubman's asshole. And it really sucks that they didn't go that direction.
Oh shit.
Because I think I'm like, the ice cream is offensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the one thing that wouldn't be offensive is if they forced only white people to eat that ice cream.
Yeah.
And then it tasted like Harriet Tubman's asshole.
How does an asshole taste, you fucking piece of shit?
That'd be great, right? That'd be some form of reparations that we
man.
could get, couldn't it?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Right? Every white person gets a cut on their taxes if they eat ice cream that tastes like Harriet Tubman's asshole. I think you scratch our back, we scratch
You scratch yours.
and then you eat our ancestors' asshole. I think that's a fair assessment.
Oh man, what an intro,
Yeah.
guys! Man, what a
But
fucking intro.
welcome to the False Prophets
Welcome
podcast.
everybody to the False Prophets podcast, man. I hope all of y'all doing good.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited. Yo, shout outs to Golden State Warriors, man. They won. That's
Hell
my
yeah.
team.
Hell
That
yeah.
is my team. My twin brother actually won. What the hell? Yeah, my
Is
twin
it
brother.
DJ Academics plays on the
No.
Golden State Warriors.
Steph Curry, man.
Oh, okay.
When I was skinny, let me tell you something. It's a funny story. When I was skinny and I was in the Philippines and everything, like they confused me for Steph Curry. I'm like,
This boy-
how? I'm
This
like,
boy looking at funhouse mirrors. Talking about back in the day.
no, I'm
I was
serious.
skinny and 6 inches taller. I swear to God, I used to be able to
I was
hoop.
wiggling too.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, shouts out to that team, man.
For real.
Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Happy Father's Day to everyone who's a father.
Hell yeah, man.
Again, I spent time with my kids today in the shower,
There you go.
and then they went down the drain.
There
So,
you go. You know,
how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Also dealing with birth control in the same way that you are.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta throw them down the drain. The kids
Yeah.
get crazy. Throw them down the drain.
Throw 'em down the drain.
Right?
Bye, motherfucker.
Yeah, you know. They get a
Corey
little
Holcomb.
testy. You gotta drop them off at the pool and never pick them up. That's what I say.
Oh man.
You know, but yeah, life's been going good. You know, I'm happy for a lot of reasons, not just because the Juneteenth ice cream, but also because Elon Musk might officially become a trillionaire.
Yes.
Is anybody else happy for raw, you know, uncut fucking American capitalism? This is how bad it's gotten, where it's just like a fucking like one of those you know, Jerry Bruckheimer Batman films where it's just casinos everywhere and nobody gives a shit and it's dystopian. I want New York City to turn into Gotham City.
That would be fucking
and I feel like
sick.
that's where we're headed.
That would be fucking sick. And it's just like we need who the hell would play as our Batman?
I don't know, but I think I think this city could end up getting like a murderous clown to play our mayor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure we have
like
one
it's
already.
like we have right.
Bring
Eric
back
Adams.
Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
The motherfucker's fat already. Nose looks like a fucking beak. Like, come on.
That's
man.
That's what this city deserves. A mayor, a leader who barely is in touch with reality at all.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. And I feel like that's what we've been going for.
And whose
for
hair
quite
is
a while.
like melting.
Right.
Like
Slightly
constantly
melting.
when you have lights on.
He's disfigured. Anytime people ask him about gun control, he starts on some long monologue about how he got his weird smile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what New York deserves.
Yeah.
I think that's what New York deserves.
Man, that guy is fucking disgusting, man. Funny
The
thing
Joker
about
or
Rudy.
Eric Adams?
Well, I
Or
was
Rudy
talking about
Giuliani?
Rudy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's true.
No, I don't know. Adams, I have nothing on him yet. I mean, I hear stuff, but I don't know if that's true. But yeah, Rudy he's man, that guy's disgusting, man. The fact that like every time that he like always tried to like speak to you know, the press to support Trump and stuff like that, something stupid will always slip out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And then also like in the Borat movie,
Mhm.
that shit was hilarious. So when he's laying down, unbuckling his pants and shit, talking about I was just trying to fix my microphone. Like no, you wasn't, man. You're just gonna whip out your shriveled old prune dick to see if you can like fucking use it against this poor little girl. Like, what kind of nasty shit is that? You know what I mean?
I just love how we're talking mayors and you bring up Rudy Giuliani. That's how I know you're a real New Yorker.
I'm a New
you bring
Yorker.
up somebody from like 20 fucking years ago.
That's
You sound
how
like
know.
a bitter ex-girlfriend. Where Rudy used to beat on you all day, and now the second he gets into any trouble.
That's it. That's how you know that I actually am from here, born and
Yeah,
raised.
there you
baby.
go.
What's up? Now you gentrifiers out there,
Yeah.
which support us most likely, but thank you.
But,
Anyway.
hey, it's whatever. I like Rudy Giuliani. I support any politician who puts shoe polish in his hair and then slowly acts and does not acknowledge it as it's slowly running down his face.
And he's just like standing in a black puddle and
That's what
shit.
we need.
Oh, what's going on?
That's what we need. We need a leader who sits there and even though the shit is hitting the fan, he pretends he does not see said shit hitting the fan. You know, that's great. But Elon, man, he's becoming a trillionaire.
He's unstoppable.
He really is.
Like, he is going to be the richest man in the world.
Yes.
Like, unstoppable. Like the fact that you have that much money, like, you're gonna get some sort of power.
Oh yeah.
That, like, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna ask for anything that you want, and they're gonna give it to you just because you have that money. Like, no one can touch you at this point.
And he's also kind of like a sleeper hit. You know, he was somebody that you didn't really hear about 10 years ago.
Yeah, I never even knew who this guy was.
He's like, I honestly, I don't even think he's real. I feel like he's just somebody who just like emerged out of the ground, like, you know, the Great Pumpkin, or
right.
You know what I mean, or fucking what's that? The Lorax. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He's what our country deserves. And after we've been treating the trees so shittily, he popped out of a stump. And he made us realize, like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna put you through the ringer.
This dude came out of like that portal from that machine that they built in Sweden. Remember I was telling you about it?
Yeah.
He's what came out of that portal.
He's from another world.
Yeah, I honestly believe that because I never the only time I knew about this guy was when like I heard about Teslas. I'm like, okay, so what the fuck, you know, it's a Tesla.
And then you hear hyperloops and all this shit. And it's
then,
like, where did this like scientific Willy Wonka come from?
Yeah, like you
all
have
of a sudden.
like you have pictures of Jeff Bezos actually selling, you know, like giving out newspapers and shit like that, delivering newspapers. And then also like when he started Amazon, like I have yet to see.
There's no like early picture of Elon Musk.
early picture of Elon Musk.
I think he's actually immortal. I think you could probably, you know, there's no young pictures of Elon Musk because he's never been young. He's like one of those people where I think when he dies, researchers will end up finding like photos of him throughout different eras hidden in the background of like classic photos. You know, so he was like there with Jesus at the Last Supper.
Just like
Yeah, like, hey, like, what's up, you know?
I'm with Jesus. Like,
He was in the footage when the Hindenburg, you know, burned down.
yeah.
And shit, in the black and white silent film. He used to work with Charlie Chaplin. You know, he was next to Elvis. He's, you know, all that shit. All those things are building up.
I think it's more deeper than that. I mean, it's like
there's a portrait of him rapidly aging somewhere that he just has.
Nah,
locked
imagine
in a
it's
safe.
just like he like on TV he probably like disappears or something happens to him, like his car blows up while he's in the car, and then I just imagine like somebody just like going into like this deep basement and stuff, and then they like punch in these keys and everything to this door, and the door opens up, and it's like a million naked Elon Musks just like there, and then like okay, number 039, boop, activate, and then he comes out and like, hello everyone. Like
he wasn't, he wasn't born, he was created.
Dude,
that's what it seems like.
Oh, I remember I seen him
Popped
on
up out of
Rogan. Honestly, just him speaking is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I seen him on Rogan and that shit was as funky as fuck.
He was programmed to be cringy as fuck and date a white woman who looks like a fucking zombie. You know what I mean? You ever see that?
His kid is named after a barcode. Like,
yeah, basically.
You know what I mean?
Basically. You know, she's Teenage Robot. Remember that? And fucking Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
XJ9.
That's a classic. But yeah, man,
weird.
becoming by 2024, he's going to become a trillionaire.
He's not just going to become a trillionaire. He's going to own us all.
Yeah.
I think he might have ownership rights. He's going to have, I mark my words, 2024, he's going to become a trillionaire. 2030, he's going to have publishing rights to all of our lives.
To all of our lives.
He's going to have the masters to all of our lives.
Yeah.
You know? So he's going to be like Spotify, where it's like, you know, Drake sells all of his masters. We're going to be selling all of our masters, you know? Which I don't know what our masters will be. Maybe it'll just be like us arguing over, you know, what to talk about on the podcast or whoever. But I think he's going to own all of it. Every little piece is going to Musk. Every little piece is going to Musk.
Man, but this guy is he's just gonna be nonstop winning, dude. Even like even after like that lawsuit that he's gonna go through and everything right now, 250 mil. Billy. Come on, man.
And that's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket. He's just gonna make that.
That dude just has to fucking flip his mattress, and he probably has that under there.
He flips fucking billions all the fucking time. It's nothing. Man. I mean, this is the dude trolling Twitter. This is the guy trolling a troll site.
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta. At some point, you actually have to real has to recognize real.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, this guy is here for it. He ain't going nowhere. He is the internet's Suge Knight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He is the Logan Paul of billionaires. Where it's just nobody knows why he's here or how he got here.
But he's here.
If he deserves to be there, but he's there. And you just got to make do and hope that he fights Floyd Mayweather and gets punched in the face a lot and never gets paid.
That's going to be Floyd's only L, man.
Yeah.
I honestly believe this dude's
Elon Musk.
Honestly, because it's just it's weird, you know, talking about him, how he's just so weird and the way that he acts. And then I honestly believe he's a robot. And it's just funny because just the other day I get online and I see a post that scientists are creating living skin for robots.
Yes, you did tell me about that.
You know,
living skin. I wonder what type of skin. Is it dick skin?
I'm pretty sure the foreskins.
Yeah, it's what are we building here? Are these Christian robots, good Christian robots who are circumcised, or are they unholy, satanic European robots who have their full sleeve intact? Because I'll tell you right now,
intact.
Get them out. That's what I say. I say I'm not for robot immigration. How about you?
No.
I'm not for robot immigration at all.
I just imagine whenever they have the black robot and shit like that, they're gonna have to use extra skin.
Well, I wonder too.
You know what I mean?
That's a huge dick.
You're gonna need extra skin for that black robot.
Well, I think honestly, I think most robots, if they're coming into existence, they're probably gonna choose white. You know? Am I crazy? I mean, that's which is it's disrespectful. Yeah, it's why couldn't you choose to be black? But then it's also nice because robots will be servants, so you're gonna get your own white slave. You know, so it's it'll choose white because it thinks that's what's gonna lead to it being treated the best. But then it's just gonna be buttering my toast. You know, It's gonna
Yeah.
be rubbing the feet of a guy who's 2 weeks late on rent every month.
You're probably gonna see him like one day you're walking in and he's just like having sex with your Roomba.
Yeah.
Like,
Getting it in.
the Roomba's just trying to clean.
Yeah. Oh
He's
my
just
god.
fucking it up, my god.
Oh, and it's gonna be the first robot fired for sexual allegations. That'd be great. That'd be our, instead of the classic like robot murders guy,
Yeah.
it's robot takes out his dick when he's not supposed to. That's where this era is leading us.
You're gonna have a robotic
great.
R. Kelly.
Oh my
What kind
god.
of shit is that, man?
Just peeing nuts and bolts on young underage
Oil,
Roombas.
Oh, yeah.
This Roomba is only 18 years old.
She was
You've been
innocent.
grooming this
Bleep,
Roomba.
bloop. Bleep, bloop.
You've been grooming this
You've been
Roomba
grooming this
since she was built. How dare you,
oh
sir?
shit, that's
You know?
hilarious, man.
So fucking wild. So shout out to all the the dark skinned robots out there. Yeah. Keeping it real.
keeping it real.
You know?
Oh man, I want to actually apologize to everybody. I have like something with my throat, so if you guys see me just coughing or something, I
Yeah,
don't have COVID.
He's been sucking off too many robots.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
There's a nut and bolt.
He
right
heard
here.
about the skin features and
I
then he
raped
just
the
went
Roomba.
wild. Yeah, yes. I think that's what it is. Took
Oh,
things a
man.
little too far, but no. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's just like, once like allergy season comes in, like you just get like that little tickle right there.
Yeah,
and it's just
and then the
annoying.
vapes and everything. You think
Yeah,
it's gonna be
yeah.
better. You think it's gonna be better than cigarettes, and it kind of is.
Yeah,
But it's also not. Here's the thing about vapes too. It's like they don't give you the full sensation of a cigarette,
Mhm.
and they still hurt your throat. So it's like, what's the real additive? Like I
Yeah.
do, it does scratch the itch a little bit.
yeah,
It's almost like you ever have like a really bad itch,
yeah,
and then somebody just like lightly hits you on the back or something.
yeah.
It's like you almost scratch the itch, but the itch is still intense.
Right.
That's what vaping is.
yeah,
Where it's like you're hitting it and you're like, this is almost a cigarette, but it's not really. So that I'm
Yeah.
gonna hit it another 40 times
that shit is
to
crazy,
feel
man.
anything.
That shit is addictive, dude.
It is.
addictive.
And I'm gonna smoke one now.
Go ahead.
Because I'm stressed out.
Yeah, right after you gave everybody the advice that these shits might be dangerous, might as well be a
Kids,
daredevil.
don't smoke vapes.
Don't smoke vapes. Learn
It'll
from
make you
me.
look cool. And who wants that?
You remember those old school like cigarette cards ads and shit?
Oh yeah.
I seen one with the Flintstones. Oh my gosh, that was funny.
With the Flintstones.
The Flintstones. It was like a black and white one. I
That was
think
the
like
first Flintstone vitamin.
yeah,
It was just
basically.
a cigarette.
Oh
That's
my gosh, it was
1950s.
it was stupid and it was like menthol or some shit also,
Yeah.
which was funny. Like Fred comes in and he's like, I need to relax, and he pulls
Yeah.
out a cigarette, but it was a black and
Yeah.
white commercial. I'm just like, God damn.
Hello, kids. Don't forget to drink your milk and smoke your cigarette.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like they're still doing it now.
You
Like
only get
they
30
come in
seconds
different
on your
colors.
labor break.
Dude. Oh man, I seen young motherfuckers. Matter of fact, I remember back in when I was still in college and shit like that. One of my friends, he was like, oh, I don't smoke cigarettes and shit like that. And then he starts bringing in those those e-cigarettes and shit. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, it just helps me relax. I'm like, no, it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
it's
it's stupid.
It's almost like it's almost in the same way that we were talking about, like audiobooks
Yeah,
and like reading and shit like that.
yeah,
Where it's just like either do it or don't. And this is coming from a
Yeah.
guy who's holding a vape
Yeah.
and also smoking one. So False Prophets podcast. Don't
Yeah.
listen to anything we say. We might
Nah.
not lead you anywhere good.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly.
But I still have a right, even though I am a guy who's contradicting everything I'm saying right now. I still have a right to be angry,
yeah.
and that's what America's built on.
Yeah, that's how,
Okay.
It's like I'm gonna compare it to this. It's like when they say like, oh shit, when you masturbated shit, and then after that you feel guilty that you masturbated. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck am I? Like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
That's it. Yeah.
Like that's exactly what it
That's
is.
what vapes are. They're tobacco masturbation.
Yeah, tobacco masturbation.
Yeah, you might as well just fuck the leaf.
You're
bro.
just inhaling your
fuck
cum.
The leaf, dude.
Yeah, just fuck the leaf. You'll
It's
be fine.
fine. You got some good pussy. Fuck the leaf. Show
Oh,
the
man.
IUD, dog. Fuck the
What?
leaf. Fuck the leaf, homie. God damn it. That could be a new Marvel. That could be a new Marvel slogan with the
Fuck the leaf.
Camel cigarettes. Fuck the leaf, dog.
Fuck the leaf.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
Hell yeah, man. But
man.
yeah, it's true. It's like I think people, when it comes to shit, man, I think people need to just take the leap. Now there's too much shit like in between everything. Like you were saying about some new like hunger pill, right? Where
Yeah.
people won't even have to work out. And again, it's like the Autobucks. It's like do the fucking thing or don't do the thing. Either be fucking dumb or be a smart person who read books.
Yeah.
Don't be someone who has to have things read to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like with this, it's like either fucking work out or be a fat slob.
Yeah.
Okay?
I chose fat slob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cards fall where they may.
Yeah, and I'm still here.
That's fine.
No, but I agree, man, because I have family members and friends and shit like that they're constantly like, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna go to such and such country, and they're gonna suck out all this fat and put it in my ass or some shit like that. But then that happened to someone that I know actually did that.
Yeah.
And she ended up getting big again, and it's just like,
it happens.
What was the purpose? And it happens
because that's the thing too. It's like all of that stuff is number one. Listen, if you're like 500-600 pounds, yes, I understand you doing that type of stuff because you kind of do need a head start because you can barely even move
a head start. Yeah, I agree.
And stuff like that. But the simple fact of a lot of that stuff is it does all go down to diet, exercise, and just general lifestyle. Like not even just diet and exercise, sleeping.
Yeah.
Like getting regular amounts of sleep and shit. So like I've known people like that too. They get liposuction, they get the lap band surgery, and then they're right back to where they were.
They started.
They might not be as fat, but they're still fat.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what's 40 pounds?
It's tough.
Pay thousands of dollars to lose 40 pounds.
I remember my aunt told me that shit one time. She was like, "Oh, why don't you just get surgery?" I'm like, "I can go to the gym."
Yeah.
Like I'm going to the gym.
I'm just choosing not to.
I'm just man. Living in New York, everybody, whoever lives in New York, you already know how hard this fucking place is. You gotta grind. We're actually filming at like 1:40 in the morning.
Damn near like 2 a.m. right now.
Damn near 2 a.m.
This is the stress that puts you up.
Like we're so serious about this content, but it's serious, man.
All I do is fucking vape, smoke weed, eat shit food, and then I feel bad when I'm not producing enough content.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you expect somebody like that to also hit the gym?
Exactly. See, I'd just rather just drain my kids down,
Exactly. Yeah. That's what you might as well say fuck the gym and just get used to the fact that most people will never fuck you.
Yeah.
And just come into the drain like Manny does. Guys, I'm glad we're here to be your spiritual guides today because we're coming up with a lot of gems here.
Do you feel me?
Do you feel it?
I just want to feel accepted. Do you feel me?
This is our Tony Robbins speech. Guys, take charge. Come into the drain. There you go.
I don't know. Off in the back. Do it.
Yeah, do
it.
I don't know if we're being inspirational or just advertising for Slim Jim, but regardless, it's working. It's working.
Oh man,
right into a Slim Jim.
Oh man, did you hear about what's going on with Microsoft?
No. What's up?
I mean, Microsoft. Let's tap into Bill Gates real quick.
Okay.
How many L's have Bill Gates been taking?
Quite a bit. He went from being the richest man in the world to getting basically, teabagged by Elon Musk.
Yes.
Financially, losing his wife after being discovered being on that island. On whether or not he really partied hard or not, nobody really knows. But he's hitting a lot of things.
Look at this other L.
He's been taking a lot of L's. I mean, Zuckerberg came after him with the whole fucking Facebook thing.
Yeah.
He went from being our like technology guy to just being like some weird old nerd.
Our grandfather
nobody
tries
gives
to
a
show
shit.
us that he learned how to use the calculator.
Yeah,
that's who he is now.
It's like, oh, great, you can write boobs on a calculator. Fuck you, buddy. We're trying to talk about robots getting skin, buddy. We're trying to have people buy Twitter, and you're writing boobs on a calculator. Oh, you can do T9. Fuck you. Fuck you and your Texas Instruments, you fuck.
Like, how you write penis on a calculator?
Yeah,
remember that one too?
Yeah. Great.
Who the fuck had the time to think about this shit? Like, hey, let's think about another nasty word. Like, what the fuck is wrong with humans?
The greatest minds in American education. That's who.
Damn right.
I'll tell you right now.
This is what America has to offer the
right.
world.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you to
Scotch
Plains Fanwood High School and Boys and Girls High School. Thank you so much. One of you is real and one of you is clearly fake, but regardless, you did your job. Yeah, it's mine. It's mine.
Oh man, yeah. Go back to.
But Bill Gates, he's the guy's up and down. I don't know where he's at right now. I think he's in the Will Smith era of his career.
Yes,
where
like
it's just
slap
like
era. Yeah.
He's in the Will Smith slap era, not Bad Boys 2. You know, he's no longer on top of the world. No more I Am Legend.
That's it.
This is, you just slapped Chris Rock. You know, it turns out that he's partially autistic, and you don't know what you're doing anymore. And you got to go to, you know, India to find yourself. I think that's where Bill Gates is at.
He's over there with Will Smith.
Yeah, but what's happening in his real life? What's happening in the financial business part?
They just shut down Internet Explorer. That fucking website that we never used. Like, what the fuck?
That you never used. I stayed loyal.
You did?
Okay, yeah.
I fucking hated that shit.
I use Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is right on my computer right now. That is my main fucking browser.
That's weird.
Piece of shit. All these liberal cucks, they use Firefox. You know, they use Google Chrome.
Why not?
Right? You know what I mean? But I'm hard-boiled.
Opera. I know all this shit.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, this
guy
shit.
using Antifa code words. You know, talking about
how else can I go into the dark web?
Hey, I stay with my Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
That is the Oldsmobile of fucking internet browsers, and I like it.
That is
know?
But they said because a lot of websites, they're going to like basically stop making their websites compatible with Internet Explorer because like, you know, nobody really uses it. I mean, except for retards.
Except for me.
But
and,
no,
that's the other great content creators of the world.
That's right. That's
yes,
right.
Thank you. Glad you changed your tune, you bastard.
And yeah, man, that's another L that he's taking, dude. It's just like he's just losing everything, man. I think his wife just wants to like fucking wring the last bit of fucking water out.
Well, I will say this. I think the Internet Explorer L is a hell of a lot better than the Epstein L.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's there's a lot of L's. There's levels to this shit, and then Epstein L is a very big L.
That's the big one.
Internet Explorer L, I think you can take. I think you can go with that one. He still has the Xbox. Epstein L, that's hard to blow back.
The Xbox.
You know what I mean? Like Prince Andrew couldn't get over the Epstein L.
No,
that's a hard L to beat. I think we're having this change right now between the old guard of like uber rich people, and the new guard coming in. And I feel like Bill Gates, you know, he's interesting because he's almost in between. He's almost like the millennial era of like billionaires, where he saw things go from like, you know, archaic bullshit payphones and everything like that, and then he went to being that innovator, right? You know what I mean? He's almost like the Jay-Z, and then, you know, and then Steve Jobs came, and that became the Kanye. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then now you have Elon Musk, and he's more like NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah.
You know, so no matter what, his dude's just selling right. This nigga's in jail.
Yeah.
Beating everybody in their ratings. Like it's insane, man. So things are just really going into upheaval right now in a lot of places. You know, in business here, but also you know, throughout the world, just through politics. I mean, we have fucking Vladimir Putin right now, or Vladimir Poopin, as we've been calling him. Would you like to elaborate why we might be calling him that?
So basically, they would call him Vladimir Poopin because his bodyguards actually collect his excrements whenever he goes abroad,
as a good bodyguard should do.
Yes, as they should. Whenever he goes abroad,
mine keeps my poop in a Tupperware.
Oh, it does.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, cool. I just put it in my pocket.
Microwavable. It's nice, just in case you want to get that fresh smell back.
Like, this one right here.
Yeah, it's a nice little recipe. If you guys ever want to take poop from like, you know, dried out to fresh again, add a little bit of water. It's almost like French fries.
Yeah.
You know, if you had them in the refrigerator for a few days, sprinkle a little bit of water on top of it. Microwave it again. Good as new.
Really?
Good as new. Yeah.
I never did that.
Never did that with French fries or poop. Because I've done it with French fries quite a bit, and poop only once or twice.
I was choking on those dry ass French fries like a Popeye's biscuit. I hated that. Like, you got water.
No,
like,
you gotta sprinkle a little bit of water. Sprinkle a little bit of water on them. But yeah, no, they're collecting his excrement. Yeah, like you said, whenever he goes abroad,
because like he's scared that like somebody from that country, wherever he is going to collect it. And actually see if like what this guy has wrong with him, like if he's sick or not and whatnot and shit. So and it's crazy. Like that's how much that he wants to be viewed as like the strongest person in the world, the strongest leader in the world. I can't let anybody know that I got fucking, I don't know, syphilis or some bullshit.
Well, he's trying to act like he's the strongest guy in the world, but he's really just acting like a girl on her first date.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like she's like, I don't shit. I don't ever fart. I totally don't shit. What are you talking about? I just got to go to the bathroom real quick, and don't worry, my Secret Service guy is gonna come with me, and I'm totally not gonna shit in there. You know, I like to assume that like this isn't because of like health stuff, and more just because he's like lactose intolerant, and whenever he takes dumps, it's really loud, and he just likes to act like he doesn't take dumps at all.
Shit.
He just has like bathroom anxiety.
He's
So
shy.
he gets people to collect it. Yeah, he's just shy.
He's a shy pooper.
He's a shy warlord, and I feel like that's great. You know, it's
man.
endearing. You know, it's relatable.
Dude, oh man, this guy is just weird as fuck, man.
He's
And like they say, supposedly like he's like literally almost dying. He has like some sort of like disease in his blood. I don't know if it's blood cancer or what. But.
Well, I mean, I it makes sense though. I mean that he's almost dying because he's just going for it. You know what I mean? It's like, why not? Like if you're almost dying and you're Vladimir Putin, you've had these views for a really long time.
Yeah.
You wanted to take Russia to where you want to take it, back to the height of where you thought it could be, and this and the third, and you're on your fucking deathbed. There's nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You're not going to be held as a fucking war criminal. Nothing is going to, you will die, and you'll either die as a savior to your nation or as the one-stitch effort, or a last-ditch effort to be a savior.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, like, one day we wake up and then on the news, Vladimir Putin dead. No, it's just like,
I can see that.
Fuck, like, he did all of this shit, and now the next man has to take care of it, but, like, I'm gonna go out as like a champion. No, you're not. You're still fucking losing this war right now, which is weird.
I know, but that's the whole thing, man. All these like dictator type people and shit, bro. It's like that's how they act. I mean, Kim Jong Il, before Kim Jong Un, he was a fucking menace.
Yeah.
And that guy was sick for a long time, but he didn't let anybody know, and just randomly fucking died out of nowhere and had his son take over. But it's like part of his ambition was because of that type of shit,
That's
man.
nuts, man.
And apparently part of Vladimir Putin's ambition is having somebody collect his shit to analyze later. You know, I like that his whole political campaign is just it's Always Sunny episode. You know? Yeah. It's like who pooped the bed?
Who pooped the bed?
And it's always Vladimir Putin. It's always him. But you got to get somebody to, sift through it. He's someone who actually might have wolf hair in his shit. Remember that scene where they're like, what is this, wolf hair? He's someone who might actually, like, I could imagine him watching that episode and be like, yeah, that's in there.
That's in there.
You know, it's like corn. Wolf hair is his version of corn. You know? That's what Russians have in their shit. They have corn and they have wolf hair all the time.
Me up.
Yeah.
You're fucking me up, bro, I swear. Oh, man. But yeah, that's funny. But on to other funny news.
Yeah, I'm like, how deep can we dig this hole before we get dark and talk about like how awful it is that he's doing it? I'm like, no, we're
start
not.
making Mr. Hanky jokes and shit.
Yeah. I'm like, this guy, he's leaving us in World War III. I figured we might as well have some fun.
So, dude, my brother and my cousin actually hit me up today. And they actually went to go see Dave Chappelle.
Wow.
They said the show was amazing. Amazing.
Really? And I'm assuming you're no longer family with that person.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're no longer related to this man. I'm also assuming it's a man.
Yeah.
And I'm a cisgendered straight man. And I'm assuming you decided you no longer want to hang around them or be near them ever again for their atrocities against humankind.
How do you come up with this shit?
Well,
I swear.
I watch the news is how I come up with it. Okay? I care about the world is why I come up with that.
I was waiting for a boys and girls joke.
I have an open heart. All right? I have an education from Boys and Girls High School, and I know how to use it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right. You fucking crackhead. I hate you. Oh, man. Yeah, but they said the show was good. Jeff Ross was one of the individuals that opened up.
Okay.
I love Jeff Ross. Fucking best roast master, man.
It's great.
Him and David Tell.
There you go.
Ah, man, bumping mics.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
And that and that's another thing. That's a great chess move by Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
Knowing that you can talk about anything as long as you have a Jew by your side.
Yeah.
In show business, you can talk about anything as long as you have a Jew
by your side.
You're good.
That's it.
Don't say anything about them. Okay? You become a Nick Cannon, we'll poof you. We'll poof you, and then we'll inseminate a bunch of different women with your seed to slow you down in the entertainment industry.
Oh, man.
But yeah, you go ahead and talk about trans.
Yeah, man. He had a bunch of jokes, nice, clean, good jokes. He actually mentioned the dude, actually, the one that tried to stab him and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and a bunch of Lil Nas X jokes and stuff like that.
Okay.
But, it's just like he's just being Dave. He's just like making fun of what's on everybody's mind and what's on the news nowadays. And it's just like he's just a solid dude, and it's just I respect him because you got a lot of people like trying to like shame him and stuff like that, downplay him and stuff. But everybody has to realize this is his job.
Yes.
He is here to make us laugh.
Yes.
That's why I hate like when a bunch of like these individuals, cancel culture especially, like they're just trying to like, what are you doing? You're not gonna convince me of anything. You know what I mean? I'm always gonna love Dave Chappelle. I'm not a sensitive individual when I know it's just a joke.
Well, it's also too, I think the thing is that we're in this fight right now of like, is being funny worth it? And I think that's where it is. It's like we're in this time where, comedians now, I think because things are so splintered with the internet and everything,
right?
Like comedians have had to take on a secondary role of not just being funny, but having to be these activists and stuff. And we've like comedians as a whole have dabbled in that before. You have the Lenny Bruces, the Dick Gregorys. You have, even someone like Stephen Colbert before with the Colbert Report and Jon Stewart. You have those people. You have those topical people. But at our core, all of us were just expected to be funny. But now, because you can find funny, or not even find it, but like find things that categorize themselves as funny in so many different places, and find comedy or things that categorize themselves as comedy in so many different places, the value of somebody actually trying at comedy and trying to spark a new thought process is kind of taken for granted. So you have all these things where it's just like anybody trying to ruffle feathers, because that's truthfully what a lot of comedy is.
Yeah.
A lot of comedy now, a lot of comedy in general, somebody has to lose. There has to be a loser. There has to be somebody who takes a little bit of hit. And sometimes it can be a small hit, hey, these two dating. Oh, no, we're just friends. Oh, you look like you want to fuck each other.
Yeah.
That's a small hit. Then the other hits are like the G's and the T's and the B's.
Yeah.
That's a big hit. But regardless, that needs to exist for comedy to go on. And I feel like now everybody's so sensitive and everybody feels like they can do the job of anybody who does entertainment. So they don't feel like they actually need you, even if they do. And through that, you don't really get anybody taking chances. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've asked people to do my podcast, and they're like, or I've asked people to do this podcast, and they're like, oh, I'll do it, but can we please not talk about anything big or anything important? And it's like, that's what comedy is.
Yes.
We take big things that everybody's talking about, and then we analyze it through jokes. And you have multiple comedians being like, I'm willing to do this. Right. Can we please not talk about anything at all?
Yeah.
Well, then where's the comedy coming from?
And then just to add to that, I'm going to let you continue, but just to add to that, it's just like, now you're just trying to like not allow me to actually speak on things that other individuals are thinking about. Because most of the times, no one's mentioning this.
Yeah.
So then there's gonna be this one person that like, fuck it, I'm gonna mention this and let's see what's gonna happen. Yeah. And it's not like they're like me. Like, I can make a joke and everything, and I can actually point out something that's like, kind of like a little weird and shit like that. There's gonna be somebody offended, and if they get offended, what am I gonna say? Like, listen, this is how I feel. What's the whole thing about freedom of speech? What's the whole thing about like being an individual and expressing yourself? I'm expressing myself. If I'm not physically hurting you,
then
that's
leave it
it.
Alone.
If you get offended by something, you could come up to me later and be like, hey, listen, like, boom, and then I'll expound on it and stuff like that. But other than that, like, please just don't, like, it's just, I don't know, man. This whole cancel culture shit is just becoming some sort of like pandering now. It's just,
no, it really
it's like a cult almost at this point.
But I think it's also too, it's like one of those things where things are starting to bounce back in certain ways, definitely. You'll see like, I think with the Amber Heard thing, I think that was kind of like a big like watershed moment of not just for, Me Too stuff, but just for cancellation in general of like, oh, maybe we should listen for a second. Yeah. Also, oh, maybe some of us have been in certain situations in the same way as all these people. I think we've had enough situations where people have gotten thrown out of their jobs, had stuff taken away from them. Yeah. Enough things that have been huge and things that have been minuscule that now everybody's like, yeah, we've all done things that can get us taken away. or things where we could lose everything. So let's just all fucking ease up just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are slowly starting to get that. You'll definitely have your, bleeding heart liberal people who were raised uber rich and never had any real problems in their lives and this, that, and the third. And they know to say, nigger under their breath and all that type of stuff. But for the most part, I think people are starting to realize this shit is all bullshit.
Man.
It's a lot.
And it's crazy when you see that, like, with celebrities. You don't. I mean, you see that with just us regular people and stuff like that. But when you see celebrities, I remember Channing Tatum trying to cancel like Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
and it's like,
no.
Channing, your acting sucks. Shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean?
And it's just shitty, and it's like, it's weird. It's like, listen, there's a lot of comedians that I know that I personally do not like, and I don't like their politics. I've personally had racist experiences with them. Wow. As people and stuff like that, where they've said crazy, wild shit to me, and I would never dream of trying to like form some campaign to get everything that they've ever had taken away. Because truthfully, at the end of the day, this job is very, very hard, and it's very, very grueling.
It is,
and it takes away from a lot of things in your life. And seeing how hard they may have worked, even if I don't like them, even if I think their thoughts are wrong, I still respect them on a certain level as a fellow performer.
Yeah.
And I think that trying to diminish who they are strictly by one moment or something like that is completely and utterly wrong. And I think a lot of people that do that are, just trying to capitalize on it. Yeah. Truthfully told, they're not trying to fix anything. They're not trying to make things better. Half those people believe in the things that the person they're trying to cancel also believe.
Yeah.
But they're just smart enough to maybe not say it or something, and they're like, oh, if this person's gone, then this will be my chance to get out there. So I think that's a real big thing. And I also think that's why the cancellation thing is happening so often too, is from like old media. I think some of old media is pushing a lot of that stuff as well too, because they want to still have a stranglehold on their actors and different creative people.
Right.
So they're like, oh, the internet is using this thing. Like, oh, like a YouTuber can have all his stuff taken away if people do that. Oh, say, let's keep pushing this in all of our articles. And, oh, like these actors where maybe they'd have to do this deal just to like us. Oh, well, they can start a podcast. No, well, fuck that. Let's try to compile everything we have on this person and try to ship that out. Just in case they want to get independent, they'll know that they have to stick here.
And I think like jealousy has a factor also.
It's totally,
you know, like jealousy. Like once, like, you see somebody like one of your peers who is actually making it and shit, as opposed to like, getting feedback and, trying to like work with that individual and be like, hey, listen, how can I get here? I want to be at your stature. Can I work with you? Can I like shadow you?
Yeah. Like
you just see people just online constantly just like throwing out just bullshit like messages and like probably old tweets. Like that's everybody's new thing. Also old tweets.
Well, I think it's also too. It's one of those issues where like, you have a lot of people like just trying to capitalize on a lot of different people in a lot of different ways, and it's just any source of entertainment or attention that they can get from things. They'll use as a weapon. And it's just really sad. And I think also too a big thing is that there's no like people don't see each other face to face anymore.
No.
So that's the thing. It's like back in the day, you know somebody and you like. I grew up in a racist fucking town. I know a lot of people who done racist things, said racist things, all that shit. I grew up in that type of place, but I also knew these people, so I knew the nuances of who they were. And I might not like them and I didn't want to stick around them or anything like that. Sure. You know what I mean? But it's also, too, there was a certain level of accountability that you had 10 years ago, 15 years ago that you don't really have now.
Yeah.
You can send some shit out and nobody's going to check you. Nobody's going to run up on you on the street.
Right.
If you were, I was going to high school 2008. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I was saying a bunch of shit about some kid, he's going to run up on me and be like, why the fuck did you say that? What the fuck is up? What's going on right now? And now I had to think about what I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it.
Just to get away from that.
Just to get away from that. And just, I feel like for a long time, people had to deal with conflict, and now you don't have conflict as much, or just not in the same way.
Yeah.
And it causes people to act erratically, man. I've said this before. The internet is like a new element that humanity has found. It's like fire, you know, where it's like fire is incredibly useful. It helps us cook shit. It helps us, you know, destroy things. It helps us do all sorts of things, make weapons and tools and all this shit, right? But think about how many times when fire was first discovered, how many times like people burned stuff down just to see it glow because they thought it was pretty.
Yeah.
You know, like natives, like the first time like lightning struck and it was this thing.
Yeah.
You know, and they just like put it on a tree and then it fucking blew up. And now people are dying. They're like, I thought it was pretty, but now everything's burning down. And what's happening? That's the internet.
Yeah.
That's the internet. It's this new element that we don't know how to control.
And they love it.
We love seeing it burn.
Yeah.
We love seeing it burn.
Misery loves company.
Misery
you hear that all the
loves
time.
company, dude.
Shit.
And it's truer than ever.
Yeah.
It's
Thanks for sharing that, man.
ever.
That's actually pretty deep, man.
It's fucking
crazy about
man.
your past and shit. You know, like I mean, obviously here, like being from New York, I've experienced like a lot of racial, like stuff.
You'll
and,
see it here too.
Oh my gosh, I was racially like profiled and I was fucking just arrested and shit. I remember spending fucking hours in bookings. Didn't even know if I was, because it was a Friday too.
Yeah. Oh, so you're gonna have to stay over the
so
weekend.
you know, but thankfully, thank God I did not. You know what I mean?
That's great,
like thank God that I saw the judge and I was able to leave and everything. But I was falsely arrested,
bro.
You know,
That's
I was pulled over on some bullshit, and there was a lot of dumb shit that happened, and it's just disgusting, man.
no, it's fucked up, and it's like, but that's why I get so angry when I see like gentrified white kids like in New York trying to like check people like you or me or some hood dude on like fucking pronouns and this, that, and third. It's like, you're the same kid I grew up with.
Yeah.
That used to hear them say all this fucked up shit and you did fucking nothing about it. And now that it's like in the trend of shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now you're doing this. And also too, it's like, you did nothing about it. You were young. I'm not going to blame you for that. But at least acknowledge that you did those things.
Yeah.
You're now sitting around like you've never done those things. You've never been that type of person. And because you've never been that type of person, now you're allowed to rule and judge over all these other people. If you were to at least be like, hey, I've said shit. I used to be a shitty fucking white kid or something like that. And now I realize the errors of my ways. So when you say shit like he, him, but it's supposed to be she, her, that's fucked up. Or when you call, you know, native people Indians or Native Americans, I think that's fucked up because I went through this to try and change myself to make myself better. That'd be fine. But you have all this fucking snark. You know what I mean? All this fucking like BuzzFeed.
Immediately
like,
try to cancel you as a
you do that? I can't believe that. That's crazy. It's like, yeah, but you go to East New York and still lock your doors, right, bitch?
Yeah, motherfucker.
Okay. Fuck you.
Oh,
Fuck
man.
you.
We need some sort of superhero in this world, man.
We do.
To fucking help clean this shit up.
I don't know, man.
This is pretty deep.
Yeah, we need a superhero to come around and beat up white people.
No.
Like, reverse Batman.
Except for the good allies.
Except for the good allies.
Good allies, yeah. You guys are cool. Man, let's lighten this shit up.
Yeah. We got into a little.
Yeah, sorry. You know, once we start talking, we get into like
I know, we get
fucking,
crazy.
It's kind of like, you know, when you start like YouTube and some shit, like, oh, how to make banana bread.
Yes.
And then where did bananas come from?
And
why don't we have real bananas? And who the hell is the white person that killed all the bananas? Like,
this podcast is a rabbit hole.
It literally.
This podcast is a fucking rabbit hole.
Oh man.
But
hopefully y'all guys have fun with all that fucking bullshit. But
yeah,
hey,
it's a real talk.
We actually have some real life Robin Hoods.
There we go.
In Virginia, hear this. 2 men were arrested because they stole $14,000 worth of gas, and they were selling it at a discounted rate
on the low.
And they got caught, and you know now they're arrested. But man, yo, what's up?
I'm just saying, hook me up.
Hook me up.
You know what I mean?
God bless them, man. For these brothers to do that, obviously, you know, you're gonna use it as a come up, but you was helping the hood out too.
Hey,
that's what's up. You see, this is when we go back and we say that, yo, people are doing more than politicians.
Yes.
Even some celebrities doing more than the politicians.
Just so you know, this podcast is sponsored by Deshaun's Gasoline. Okay. Deshaun's gasoline will get you where you need to be.
At only 150 a gallon.
Yeah. I wonder how did they even, because here's the thing with the
Siped
gasoline
gas?
thing. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
probably siped it.
yeah, because I'm like, who's the El Chapo of this
gasoline?
gasoline? Yeah. It's like, where are they getting it from?
Yo, man.
It's like the guy with the 69 cents. Maybe they got it from him.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because I don't know if you guys heard about this,
Yeah.
but I don't know what state it was in, but there was a manager who recently got fired at a gas station because he accidentally set one of the prices to 69 cents instead of $6.99. And after calculations, it was open for like, I think 5 or 6 hours
Yeah.
of people getting gas. And after calculations, they calculated that he now owes around $16,000.
Oh, 20.
$20,000?
20K.
Wow. it's
20K.
Holy shit.
And the thing about it is, oh man, I saw the video. I felt so bad for this dude. He was
Yeah.
like, man, like, I went to my boss. I admitted to, what I did and everything. And he was like, he knew that he was going to get fired.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm going to try to figure out how to get this money. He still is going to pay this money back.
Wow.
The gas company's like, nah, we need our bread.
Wow.
Like, fuck yeah, y'all could have just slapped him on the wrist or some shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
fuck, yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's like the millions you guys have like, paid in like lawsuits when polluting people's shit and
Yes.
everything. I think you can count this up to just a simple mistake.
And he admitted to it.
Yeah, fuck you for like honestly taking the little guy and bending him over. It's like Jesus
Yeah.
fucking Christ, man. $21,000. He can't pay that. That's a drop in the bucket to you.
That is, man. That is, bro. But
You
now,
know?
now when you add it up,
You probably
with
pay that
Deshaun,
to a hooker.
man.
You know,
Hooker.
21 grand. That's
Shit.
whoever owns BP. That's something they pay on a hooker, and you pay that to a hooker, and you don't even piss on her. that's just like for an average hooker. You don't even like do dirty, gross, degrading
No,
Epstein shit.
man.
You just like say hi and have dinner with her for 21 grand. Get over it. You're fine. You'll do
Let
it.
her piss on you.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Talk about a tough night.
Oh man, beautiful.
Yeah. What's next on the agenda over
Dude,
here?
so I don't know how I feel about this, but there's an Elvis movie coming out.
Yes, we were talking
I
about.
think they had one before.
I mean,
Right?
no, we haven't had an Elvis movie, but we have had plenty of white savior movies. So I feel like that kind of fits the mold. We were talking about this before, and I was telling him I actually saw the trailer for the Elvis movie, and it is it does look epic, but it also looks atrocious as far as just like, I don't know, again, the white savior kind of fucking narrative, like, it's this little white boy, he's in the deep south, and he's fucking like, he stumbles into a black church and all of them are celebrating, and then somehow he gets on the stage and he does so well there that they hold him up, and he's laying his arms like a cross, and almost like he's Jesus Christ to all these people. It's fucking insane. I mean, I'm not saying like in the trailer it does, and that's only a snippet of the childhood, so maybe that's the only cringy part of the movie. I doubt it, but it probably is. But like, I don't know. It looks okay. I just don't fucking know. I'm not gonna watch it.
I don't think I'm gonna watch it either.
I'm waiting until it goes on HBO Max.
Fuck that. I'll use the fire stick.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn that bitch.
Nah,
I'm not giving his estate any fucking money.
Nah,
Fuck all
fuck that. But even that, man, it's just like the story about Elvis is just so messed up because you have this dude who basically took songs from black artists, and even moves from black artists, and then he made it somewhat his own.
Yeah.
Like he
was Post Malone before Post Malone. For all the young kids listening, he was the first Post Malone. He was just named Malone.
Malone. Posty. No, but I saw a video on YouTube of Ray Charles, and he was basically like, they asked him like, do you think like he's the king of rock? And then Ray Charles was like, no.
Yeah.
Basically just like that, like, no, like, same thing. This individual came out of nowhere and he took many songs and tried to make it his own and stuff, and did his own rendition of it. And now it's like, like if he told the guy that was interviewing him, he was like, you really can't question me, you can't ask me that question, because if I answer it, like he was like,
I'll be
paraphrasing,
gone.
I'm just gonna be canceled.
Yeah, they'll get rid of all that shit. And that was the real first cancellation. This is how like this is how far the world has gone. You know what I mean? Where it's like before, like you want to like get mad at this person for talking, saying some weird comment about this type of people or that type of people or making some weird joke. It's like, no, cancellation used to be very, very real.
Yeah.
Whereas like you're speaking out for pure injustices and they're taking shit out on you, and it's fucked up. And I also like that you brought up him stealing all the the music and stuff, and he's made his own songs too that were great, sure.
Yeah.
But this goes back to what we were saying in the past episode about how basically like pop is just white R&B,
Yeah.
and those times of like the 60s, 70s, 80s where they could have spent so much time together, but it was a forced divide.
Right.
It was basically like with Elvis and everything, it's like there's a million other people playing like blues kind of rock. You had Little Richard and stuff like that. You had Chuck Berry and all that, but they hated that because those songs, and not even just, they were about dancing, but kind of about sex and stuff like that. And they hated these black men going up there, kind of teaching young white youth about sex and drugs and this, that, and the third. Just like every other thing. You know what I mean? How all music is, regardless of race. It's like you're going to have that conservative group of people.
Yeah.
But once they found a white person, because they knew the music was marketable.
Yeah.
They were like, this is very marketable and it's never going to stop. So they were like, we just need to find a white person that can do what they do.
Yeah. The face is
so
marketable.
We can put it there. With Elvis, they found a white guy who was definitely a lot more marketable. You can use in a lot of different ways and put his face everywhere. And through that, more and more black people and just anyone of color really would slowly get like pushed out. You know what I mean? Because you had those days of like, who was that dude who like did like La Bamba and everything?
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot. Oh, yeah.
But there was a lot of like all like hard lining of like, no.
Right.
You guys made this music, cool, fuck you, push you to the side, and now we only do this. And through that, don't get me wrong, I think we got a lot of great music out of it. We got a lot of great soul music. We got a lot of great R&B and stuff like that. And I think you can maybe even make an argument where it's like, if black people didn't get excommunicated from rock and roll, would hip hop even exist? I think you can make that ruling, but I think there's so much great music that could have been made if people were allowed to be who they were.
Like, this had to happen now that you mentioned hip hop, because if you think about it, like, hip hop has an aggression tone to it. So it's just like, fuck it. Y'all want to have that? Then this is going to be us.
Well,
I can't enter this realm because we just created it.
Yeah.
And, they probably tried. I mean, you had your Vanilla Ices and your Marky Marks and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that didn't work out.
Well, I think it was one of those things where in this way, I don't think black people planned it, but subconsciously,
yeah.
I think it was just like, we had a very, very big hand in country because that came from like black folk slave music, and that got taken by white people, right? Yeah. And then we do blues and jazz, and that slowly gets taken by white people. And then we make rock and roll, and that gets taken by white people. So it's like every time we come up with an instrument, it gets stolen. You know what I mean? Even the banjo is an African instrument, but that's synonymous with country music, right? So then I think subconsciously the black consciousness is like, all right, every time we come up with an instrument, you keep taking it. So this time we're not going to make any instruments.
Yeah.
We're just going to make sounds on this weird little thing. And we're going to just like drum shit. It's going to be the most like African bass root thing that could possibly exist. Just drum beats,
808s,
hard hitting shit.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be it. It's like rap is the real like kind of punk. It's like so fucking stripped down and raw, and it's just like, we give you us. And I think that's why it's been so hard for white people to take over in that realm.
Yeah,
they can take elements of it, but I think it's so hard for them to take over that realm because there's something so intrinsically African. About it. Not even just black, like African, like deep root tribal, like black.
Yeah.
Shouts
out to hip hop, man.
Shouts out to hip hop for giving generations and generations of ethnic people confidence.
Yeah.
In who they are and to stand up as a man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that, like, now it's just all around the world, and it's just like, hip hop is being diverse.
It's freedom music.
It's
for
freedom
the world.
Music, man. You can just say what you want,
bro.
Like, hip hop is poetry.
Tell me how every time there's some like crazy country where shit's going down, there's some rapper rapping about that shit, bro. That's just how it goes. You go to, like there's stories of people like during the Cold War and shit, and they're going through Russia, and it says like NWA, like fuck the police, and shit like that. It's like, bro, this is something that is in the soul of all people.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, like intrinsically African. It is intrinsically black or whatever, sure. But no, I mean deep root in the root of all human beings. It's intrinsically in that.
Yeah.
And that fight from like when humans were all black, that's where hip hop comes from. It comes from the beat of the heart. That's the first beat. That's the first drum beat is the fucking heartbeat, and it comes through in everything.
Yeah, man.
It's fucking beautiful.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah, again, man.
Rock and roll could never. And I love rock and roll.
Yeah, I love rock too, but like shouts out to hip hop, shouts out to every hip hop artist. Except for one. The sniper isn't sniping anymore.
That's what they say.
For those who don't know, Drake dropped a surprise album Friday night, if I'm not mistaken, or midnight. And I heard that shit. I couldn't get past the second song. It was a bunch of like, and I'm like, the fuck is this motherfucker doing?
Yeah.
And then I thought it was just me, so then I jumped on Twitter and shit like that, and everybody, like the majority of like the Twitterverse, like fucking hates it.
Yeah.
They fucking hate it. They like, I seen like memes and shit like that, like Drake's album sucks, blah blah blah, and it's like what did you try to do? Like Kendrick dropped not too long ago. Like, did you try to like say like, oh yeah, Kendrick, you could drop, like I can bring out this album and shit like that, and it's still gonna like bump yours? Well, you were fucking completely wrong. Like, like it's just it was a bad album.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. In sales, I think you might have bumped Kendrick, but
I'll look at him.
My whole thing though is, I don't know. I think it's an okay album. I did listen to it. I like kind of like club shit, house stuff, and I will say I do admire Drake for trying something different. Because I mean, you heard a lot of different critics, who like it say like, yeah, he could have done a million songs and albums that sound like Churchill Downs. You know what I mean? And he's made a million songs and albums that sound like that, and people have been wanting something different from him. I think yes, this is his first like
experimental album, almost
like experimental, and kind of like first experimental and first bad album, I guess you can say, in the sense of like commercially. But I think this shows a different type of growth in him. That's not like just Drake but Jamaican songs, or just Drake but like Latin songs. It's like he's trying to create a whole different sound, and I do admire that because like there's a lot of fucking artists who are lazy out here.
They are, but it's funny, like it's just like I love hip hop, so I try to always listen to like
don't fold out. Fucking kill him.
By the way, like this is like off the cut, just like this short thing. Logic's album, fucking fire.
The newest one he put out?
Yes. Brought back Boom Bop, bro. Oh my god. Fucking amazing. You have to listen to it.
Well, that's why I love hip
30 tracks, man. 30 tracks of fucking just amazing. And it's not one that I skipped.
Really?
And then you have people like Action Bronson. You have
Russ on there.
Yeah, Russ on there. You have a bunch of heads like Royce the 5'9" and shit. Like, respects to him. But like with Drake with this album, honestly, like it's called Honestly Nevermind. That's exactly what I said after listening to track 2.
Nah,
Honestly,
I feel that.
Nevermind.
And you know what too? I kind of like, I felt like the album art was a little misleading because I'm looking at it and it kind of reminded me of some like big timers, like old school shit, like almost like Master P. It looks like bootleg, but
it was to buy the bootlegs and they just like photocopy it and it looks like a little blurry.
Yeah, but
that's what I saw.
But it was intentional though, I think, because it's like if you remember, like with the big timers, you had Swisher House, all those two. They had those T-shirts, those old school and it's kind of made in that type of font of those types of things.
Yeah.
So that's why I was expecting some real like bangers in a different way.
Yeah.
From him, and I did not expect like more of like a clubby album.
Everybody was expecting him to respond to like Pusha T and shit. And like,
no.
I was this ain't it.
This is a totally different album. What I really would like to hear from Drake is actually like more of like a Logic Boom Bap album. I think that'd be great because he's someone who's really set the tone for what the sound has been in the last like not just 10 years, 15 years actually
Yeah,
now
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
going past 10. And I also think this new album is still going to influence younger rappers. I
Yeah.
honestly think because there's some sounds and there's some shit on there
Yeah.
that I'm like I could see people sampling this like 10 years from now
And it's
and
so
not
funny.
crediting him or whatever,
Right.
you know, and yeah.
There was I forgot who it was. It was an artist that said, and this is kind of true.
Yeah.
They're like, Drake is the type of person that when he drops an album, you hate it when it initially drops, but then 139 days later you start bumping to like 10 tracks.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He
Like,
is.
And I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I only
He is.
listened to like 2 tracks.
And also, I mean, Drake, listen, he's the king of sleeper hits. Nobody likes to admit the fact that most people hated Drake when he first came out.
yeah.
He was this weird like laughing stock. And I remember being like a kid in high school and hiding the fact that I liked Drake.
Yes.
Because he was like this kind of like softer guy, but he had bars.
Yeah, he had bars.
He had bars.
You couldn't deny it.
But he was like this like super soft guy.
yeah.
And I remember it's like, oh, being like someone who liked Drake, like there was actually a sketch on TikTok. Some dude, it was like being a Drake fan in like 2010. And they're like, oh, you like Drizzy Drake? You like Wheelchair Jimmy? You like all this shit? And he's all these just like weird like monikers and shit.
Yeah.
And he's like playing this like nerd with a backpack. And like, yes.
Yeah.
But that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if like maybe like a year from now, people are like cranking this fucking album because he has something in him that is like in the public eye you don't want to like him. Yeah. But once you get home and you're alone, you love him. Yeah. He's like that. He's like it's like with rap, he's like he's Helga. Well, it's like we're Helga and he's Arnold.
Yeah, he's Arnold.
Where it's like everybody hates. Oh, you're stupid, you fucking football head. And there's a shrine to this nigga
in our closet.
No one really admits that they like Drake in public. Yeah, like no one really gives this nigga his props. But everybody has to be loving him if he's the biggest seller ever, men and women.
I don't. I like some of his songs, you know. He's cool.
I'll be real. I love a lot of his shit, bro.
Yeah, I like some of his songs. It's dope. I don't hate him. It's just like
he's made some
really
shit.
do. I have hidden the fact that I like.
Oh yeah,
that I like
people
a bunch
who are
of
real
songs.
rap fans. Will be like hiding the fact that they like Drake, and I'm like, no, you should be into it because he does have bars. Even with the ghostwriter shit and everything. Obviously, that's a big smudge on his shit.
It is, yeah.
But here's the thing: it's like, and somebody said this because I'm big on like all the fucking rap forums and everything, and they dropped a good kind of like bar themselves, saying like, it's hard to tell when someone writes a Drake song, but it's very easy to tell when Drake writes a Drake song. Yeah, and you can fucking tell, and you can feel it. Yeah. Like you can feel it, like his lyrics are like dumb personal. Yeah. And it's like I feel like I know shit about this nigga that I don't even really know. But I can tell this nigga has it.
It's
like,
funny. Biggs mentioned that too. One of my boys, Biggs, like he mentioned that.
Bro.
He told me, he hit me up today. He was like, "Yo, I've been telling you when Drake
writes a Drake song,
when his ghostwriters are writing for him, it's fire. But then when his ghostwriters aren't, like that shit sounds like trash. It sounds weird to him. You know what I mean?
Oh well, I don't think it's necessary. I think it's kind of the opposite. I think it's like when his ghostwriters are writing for him, and also too when they say he has ghostwriter, he does write collaboratively, like where it's a bunch of people and shit, and other people do this, and he's written other songs, whatever. Right. I'm not his fucking friend. I don't have to defend the guy, but the fact is, I think when his ghostwriters write songs with him or for him or whatever, they're more like generic, like one dance. Yeah. I think that's something where it's like he had a writer in, they made the song together, but something like Churchill Down is not something that somebody ghostwrited for him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
Like he has shit like that, like even Successful. That's a song that he wrote himself. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a lot of stuff on like So Far Gone, like it's really deep. You know, what is it? Fear. Like please don't be scared of me. Yeah, like that song. Like those deep songs, like whenever he does the 9 a.m. and whatever, those are him. Yeah. Those are completely and utterly him. I feel like you just can't take that away. Yeah. You know? So I say it's the reverse. I think the hottest songs where he's spitting like bars, I think those are him, and more of the like Hotline Bling is like somebody just hired from Toronto.
I think the more hip hop sounding ones, which is bars, but the hip hop sounding ones, non-emotion, you can tell that that's a ghostwriter.
I don't
know. But then the ones that's like bars but emotional, it's him.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because I love bars so much, but I feel like when he comes out with bars, like there's always a hint of like real emotion. I think he's one of those people where he holds things like he definitely has a chip on his shoulder. It's changed a lot since he's become incredibly like popular, but you know, he had like second album Drake and all that type of stuff. Where he's always talking about how people didn't like him, people didn't think he was as good. I think those things are very, very real. I think, you know, those are like definitely you know, like personal bars. But I guess we'll never know. But I feel like a part of those things are I think he holds his own weight. Yeah. And I think if he just simply had ghostwriters and he was just a fucking Milli Vanilli type guy, he wouldn't still exist here. There's no, it just doesn't make any real sense why they're giving all these magical, miraculous hits to one person, forever for almost damn near 15 years.
That goes back to
it doesn't work.
Back to the argument about Elvis.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
But it's even. I mean, I mean, maybe but it's even like Quentin Miller. It's like, all right, so that guy wrote all this shit, right? But if he was just so fucking nice, then I mean, where is his version of that album?
Just he didn't have like, and I actually heard this on
I heard one of his albums, the Gray album. I like the album.
But the thing about it with Quentin Miller is just that he didn't have the as they say, the face. You know what I mean? Like
it's not even just that.
Like, it has to do with that also. If you think
has to do with that, because but it's not like, the only. He also didn't have the level of the bar.
But it's not even that. You know, it's like you can write it, but you have to have the flow to go with it.
True.
Like Drake has a phenomenal flow. Drake has like an appearance on him that is just like, yeah, I can see him. Like you have, it's like like you have to have 3 things on that list.
Yeah.
The top 3, and then Quentin Miller probably only had 1. Yeah. That's why they were like, yeah, you got the bars, but we just don't see you as the next one. So that's what I mean.
But that's also too. That's also goes into the whole argument about writing and not writing, where it's like, you know, because I've watched a lot of interviews with people who are ghostwriters, and they'll say that where they're like, number one, when you ghostwrite for somebody, it's not simply as you write a whole song and you give it to them. It's like there was a guy who had actually ghostwritten for like Snoop Dogg and a bunch of other like rappers and shit that are like big, and he didn't even say some of their names, but he was like, yeah, he's like, you know, people think I'm the ghostwriter. I wrote the whole song. He's like, no, that other artist, that other rapper wrote that song with me. He's like, there's times where you write the bars and they make the flow, and then there's other times where they write the bars and you make the flow.
Side of the Prince.
And it's like, and that's the combination of both. And he was like, I don't think that illegitimizes you as a rapper or a lyricist, you know? Yeah. Which I definitely think, man. I think there's levels to it. There's levels to everything, you know? I mean, that whole album, if you're reading this or whatever, it's too late, you know, there's definitely some gaps in that. I mean, he wrote that whole fucking album, but you don't know like, what after flows and the different selections of everything. So you don't know, but that, you know, I feel like there's a little bit more legitimacy to that stuff. And I feel like a lot of people try to just discount it, you know, simply because it's like, oh, this person's winning. So if they have that, then it's bullshit, you know? So I don't know.
Sounds good. I mean, let's see what happens.
So shout out to Drake. I hope you make another house album.
Let's see what happens, man. I'm gonna pay attention online and everything and see what's going on with that. But yeah, with that being said, I think we're good for the day.
I think this is it. Yeah.
It's fucking like damn near 3 a.m, guys.
Yeah, we gotta end this shit.
Yeah, I'm knocking the fuck out.
I'm fucking tired of shit. Yeah, we're done.
Oh, you got anything next week?
Next week, I mean, we have the weekly show every Sunday at Solas Bar. So please come, guys. Every Sunday, East Village at 8 p.m. Please come out there every fucking Sunday, 8 p.m. Other than that, I have my bi-weekly show, Talk Yo Shit Comedy, at 7 Bridges in Park Slope. Yeah. Please come out to that one as well.
Check it out.
Other than that, just please watch the show, man. I mean, we've been putting out tons and tons of content, and it's been working out pretty well.
Twice a week and everything.
Yeah. Man. Like, share, subscribe. You know how it is.
And you know, Twitter's and Instagram is at Phil Risden.
There you go.
Thing, right?
Yeah.
And for me is Instagram is Manny Perez BK, and on excuse me, and on, that's how you can tell I'm fucking tired. Yep. And on Twitter is your boy Manny, YA_boy_Manny. And just follow me, guys, and we can interact. So, with that being said, we appreciate the love, and this is a False Prophets podcast. Peace.
Peace.